Hi, this is Hark the Lark. This episode is going to be primarily about map projections and our perceptions of our planet because of those projections. I have a globe with me. It's not very colorful, so I apologize for that. But I want you to see if you can see and focus on that. That's Greenland. And then down here is South America. Well, what's interesting is when Columbus came across the ocean and found these lands, he thought he was way over here. And these are known as the Indies. Today, they're still, lots of people still call these the East Indies. And he thought he was there. So when he saw the people, he just named them what he thought he should name them, Indians. And that name has stuck for a long, long time. What's funny is that when he went back, he said he'd found Asia. And they totally believed that, and they were looking for spices and gold and different thvespucci. And then another man from here came down, and he sailed further south and bumped into this. And his name is Amerigo Vespucci. And Amerigo Vespucci came back to Europe and said, that's not Asia. Because the little bit that they knew of Asia from Marco Polo and even some of the explorations and in the 1200s, 1300s, and 1400s, they knew it wasn't this far south. So when this man named Amerigo Vespucci came down and said, hey, it's a new place, ironically, instead of calling this North Columbia and South Columbia, which would technically be the case if Columbus had really known where he was, this Amerigo Vespucci said it's a new place. And so a map maker in the 1500s started calling it America. And that's why we call it America. After Amerigo Vespucci, who didn't find it. He just is the first one to realize it wasn't Asia. Pretty funny. Anyway, back to my story. So here's Greenland, and here's South America. Well, on the screen, you'll see a Mercator's map, Mercator's projection of the planet. The planet is round. So when you make it flat, it obviously has distortions. Well, what you'll see on that Mercator map is that Greenland is bigger than South America. All my years until I got to high school, I believed Greenland was bigger than South America. But in real life, it's only 1/8 the size of South America. And it shows the tremendous perversion of making the North way bigger than it really is. And Greenland looks bigger than South America. And you can see that on the map. What I want to point out to you, though, is another map. And this is called Peters projection. And Peters projection tries to get things more relatively right in size. It's still, you cannot get a globe on a flat piece of paper without a little bit of distraction and perversion. But I want you to just to look at this for a moment. And now that you've looked at it for a moment, I want to do something else a little different, because here's the part that's really puzzling. Once we said goodbye to the East on the top and oriented maps with North on the top, Mercator made the North look bigger than it was, so Europe and America looked bigger than they were. But what if we did this? What if every map we looked at was like this, labeled right side up for us, but with this? Wow, it would just change the whole way we see things. Imagine how much different we would see the world if this is how we looked at the globe. Bear in mind, when I turned the map upside down, no one fell. You could have a map and it looks just like this and you're fine. I'm sure that there are probably people who make maps of Australia with Australia on the top because it's just kind of cool if you're an Australian. I will point out that doing this and doing this is more problematic because we don't rotate on the equator. We rotate on the axis of the Earth, and so it makes some more logical sense to have the globe either like this on a map or like this on a map. But think about how much different you'd see the world if this is how you saw the world all your years in elementary and all the rest. Well, I can do some other things on some other place names, so we're going to call this one done. And thank you so much for joining Hark the Lark.